Now, how are they going to maintain their presence without having military bases? The president of Burkina Faso exposed them. So Mahama brought hope. Now the Ivory Coast government and Emmanuel Macron are using this initiative to achieve two different things. Respect, lovely people, thank you for joining us today. This is going to be an amazing session for us. Today we are in Ivory Coast, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Nigeria, including Benin. Now the headline is that France is now handing over their military bases in Abidjan to the Ivorian authority. Beautiful people, these guys want to deceive us. That is the fact. You know, when this update came out, all of us, we have been saying that Ivory Coast is chasing out French military base. Guys, calm down. Ibrahim Traoré exposed the leader of Ivory Coast in his speech, including General Tiani. I'm not talking about the one that they said Ivory Coast is having military base there training or no. I'm not talking about that. Ibrahim Traoré said the president of Ivory Coast is practically lying to his citizens. He said it in a very smart way in a new speech. And what he said practically explained what France is trying to achieve and what the Ivorian government is doing. We are going to use the map to explain details of the situation. And I promise you, if you're able to watch this video to the end, anywhere you find yourself debating this topic, you will be confident of the fact that you know exactly what you are talking about. And you will also understand why Ibrahim Traoré is happy of the coming of John Mahama, the president of Ghana. Not only Ibrahim Traoré, but together with the rest of the Sahel leaders. Today you will understand exactly why they are happy. So lovely people, without wasting your time, let's dive into it. Now, after Chad and Senegal terminated their military agreement with France following same pattern of Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso, the pattern of ending military agreement, please pay attention to that. Ending military agreement. Then in Ivory Coast, update came from there that they are asking French troops to move out of their country. Now this is a strategy from the two sides, the government of Ivory Coast and the president of France. With this initiative, they aim to achieve two different things right from both sides. Now when this announcement was made by the president of Ivory Coast, General Tiani, the president of Mali, he came out and blew the first trumpet, or let me say the first alarm, alerting the public of what France is trying to do, exposing the Ivorian government. Traoré also came on board and confirmed it. I'll show you. You relax. Let's go through it one after the other. So let's first of all look at the handing over of this particular French military base in Ivory Coast. Then we come back to understand what exactly they are doing and what they intend to achieve. So according to the update, France will officially transfer its military base in Abidjan to the Ivorian government on February 20th, 2025. The handover ceremony will be attended by the defense ministers from both sides, from France and Ivory Coast. Now when you look at the background of the transfer involved the 43rd Marine Infantry Battalion camp. It is located in Port-Bouët, a district in Abidjan. Now, the reason why this is nothing but a trick is because this particular French military base in Port-Bouët, this France military base has been a significant symbol of France's military presence in Côte d'Ivoire. The establishment of French military base in Port-Bouët, Abidjan in 1979 was rooted in the Franco-Ivorian Technical Military Assistance Accord signed in April 1961. This particular agreement was made shortly after Côte d'Ivoire gained independence in 1960. So this agreement authorized France to station its troops in the country. And part of this agreement made it clear that anything that threatened the interests of France in the region, France has the right to defend and protect it. That is why when the Sahel, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso became a threat to the interests of France, according to the agreement between France and Ivory Coast, France has the right to defend its interests. That is why it was going after the Sahel. And the Ivorian government cannot do anything about it because this is the agreement. The only way the Ivorian government can say something in regard to this positively is to end this particular agreement. After the agreement in 1961, then this particular base was established in 1979. Now, before this agreement was reached, the former purpose of this military base or the French troop in Ivory Coast was to resist any attempt to stop colonial rules. So it was when they can no longer resist the end of colonial rules and independence finally stepped in, they now switch from resistance to colonial rule to military partnership agreement. They just change color. They are the same people. And what is happening right now again is a changing of color. So when this announcement came from the Ivorian president, General Tiani, the Prince of Mali, came out and said, France is restructuring its military presence in Africa to maintain their presence in Africa in a new way. Unlike how France has been forced to withdraw its troops from several countries like Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, including Chad, which expelled them in November 2024 after ending military cooperation agreement with them. So you see that these countries are ending the military agreement, but in the case of Ivory Coast, what is happening in Ivory Coast is a cooperative transition in Ivory Coast, not an end of military agreement. Unlike other countries where France faced forced military withdrawals. Now, how are they going to maintain their presence without having a military bases? The president of Burkina Faso exposed them. He spoke in French, so I interpreted it. So listen to that. General Tiani recently mentioned a change in tactics or strategy of French forces in Africa. And I believe Macron came to confirm it. He spoke about dissolving and maintaining a foundational presence. The truth is, even though some leaders try to deceive their people, reality eventually catches up. They have only dissolved their structures. You won't see them in military bases anymore, but they will be present in embassies. They will set up security companies to protect their businesses in these countries. Their soldiers will be there, but you won't see them in uniform or military bases. This simply means they are reorganizing to maintain their presence. The truth is, if you want a real break from these imperialist forces, it is simple. Denounce the agreement. Everything starts there. For example, Chad began by denouncing the agreement. If you don't denounce them and by just saying the military bases are leaving, it achieves nothing, because the real issues lie in the colonial defense agreement signed during independence. So he said until the agreement is completely cancelled, it is useless to say that they are leaving. And he says some leaders are beginning to lie to their population. They are lying to their citizens. This message is a direct message to Ivory Coast government, because his speech came shortly after the update came from Ivory Coast. And he gave reference that the case of Chad is genuine because they end the agreement. And additionally, he referenced General Tiani to confirm his speech. Now, the Ivory Coast government and Emmanuel Macron are using this initiative to achieve two different things. Now, from the government of Ivory Coast side, the government reading between the lines of political shifts, how the youth all over Africa are calling for the removal of French military bases out of Africa, and election is in the corner in October. Ivory Coast is having election. Since the youth want this, let's give them the counterfeit of what they want and get their vote. Now, in regards to Macron, there's nothing much important to Macron, the president of France, than to retrieve the Sahel and gain control of it back. Because the breaking away of the Sahel has actually created one of the biggest economic gap in France's economy. And Ivory Coast is in a strategic position for getting information and intelligence from the Sahel, and the best environment to hunt the Sahel from. So this is the reason why France will do everything to maintain their presence in Ivory Coast. Now look on your map and let's go on some geography trip. When you check the map, Côte d'Ivoire is sharing border with both Mali and Burkina Faso. And using terrorism and launching intelligence attack from here would be much more easier. And also, the battle sponsored by this guy, which is the battle between the terrorists and the Sahel, is practically on these two borders. Niger had the least terror attack because when you look at where they are, the terrorists sponsored by this guy must first of all go through Burkina Faso, Mali, before reaching Niger. So since they are operating from Ivory Coast border, Mali and Burkina Faso are always faced with a high record of attack. That is why Ibrahim Traoré was loud on Ivory Coast and Benin, because Benin also share border with Burkina Faso. So on the map, Mali and Burkina Faso somehow shield Niger. That is why Niger always record the lowest attack. Now, the easiest way for France to reach Niger is through Chad or Algeria. France doesn't have military base in Algeria, and Chad also have to chase them out. So they lose their ground there. Now in Benin share border with Burkina Faso. France doesn't have military base in Benin, but they have military intelligence over there. That is why the Sahel always accuse Benin and Ivory Coast. Now this made it clear to you why France was getting closer to Nigeria and Ghana after being chased out of Chad and Senegal. See, Senegal also is sharing border with Mali. So France lose ground there. After losing their ground there, the next link available for France is Nigeria and Ghana, apart from Benin and Ivory Coast. That is why Tinubu went to France, and some analysis shows that France was trying to negotiate military bases in Nigeria. Additionally, the former president of Ghana, Akufo-Addo, he also went to France and he was given an honor. What this simply means is that for France to have more access to Niger, France needs to collaborate with Nigeria because Nigeria share border with Niger. So Ivory Coast and Ghana on the map easily connect with Burkina Faso and Mali. And then Nigeria and Benin easily connect with Niger. So you see why France is hovering around us. It is because of the Sahel. They still want to maintain their presence in a way. So for it not to get to the level where the youth of Ivory Coast will begin to do demonstration and all that, they want to give them camouflage. Now, in the case of Ghana, Burkina Faso is now free from regional threat from Ghana because Mahama came and then brought hope and said, no, we are going to work with you. We will not work against you. Unlike the rest of the African nations that are providing their ground for the enemy to work against you. No, we are not going to do that. So Mahama brought hope. This is why the president of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, they are happy that Mahama came on board because the former president wanted to sabotage them. And Tinubu is kind of trying to have a change of mind these days because of the things that Mahama began to do and the things that Mahama is saying to them. The advice is that we need to work with our brothers, not to work against them. So in all this, Ivory Coast remain a key player, the only key player. So if France is chased out of Ivory Coast, it becomes much more difficult to be having access to the Sahel through their terrorists. And this is the reason why they are rescheduling the partnership. France is still in Ivory Coast. And I believe this is clear now. Lovely people, if you enjoyed this update, don't forget to be part of the family by liking and subscribing. And I would love to know your thought on this. So let's meet in the comment section. Respect.